Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Dr. Jet's secret lair, better known as the southern wing of the Stinkbug Works, where today we bring you breaking news. And here at the Stinkbug Works, when news breaks, we fix it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, are you ready? My microwave works. So now you get to listen to coffee slurping and refreshing ahs. Been working on this thing. Parts have slowly been coming in the mail. I now have the mounting clamps that I'm going to use for the boom. And I got to looking at this rudder. And there's something about this rudder. And in fact, this rudder has all different sizes and such, but it's all the same manufacturer and the same manufacturing process. But here's the deal. The rudder itself is more than snug in the bracket so that there's no slop whatsoever on the rudder. But now if you look at the control arm, there's just a whole lot of slop in the control arm. And I think I have the larger version of this on the American Spirit, and I did the same thing to that I plan to do to this. In fact, I think that one just used a single push rod, so I cut one arm off. But this whole little piece gets JB welded into the rest of the rudder. Let's see if I can pull this off and demonstrate it for you. So, rudder pulls out of the way. I need a pusher. This will work as a pusher, and I can push the pivot pin out. And you can see that this, the pivot pin goes through it, but this thing is just riding in this little groove. And quite frankly, the tolerances aren't good enough. So what this will get is a liberal dose of JB Weld just past this pivot rod. So it'll get a liberal dose of JB Weld in there, and then it'll get assembled, and it'll just sit there till the JB Weld cooks off, and bingo. This will now be a permanent part of that. There's no reason this needs to be removable. I'm sure they did it for manufacturing processes. If this were all one piece and you had to mill this out, you'd have a ton of waste. And so it's just easier to make a piece that drops in. However, being inexpensive Asian products, the tolerances aren't that good. So the rudder here, the rudder here, will get a little bit of work. So, right through. So tomorrow, not tomorrow. Today is, what the hell is today? Oh, it's Friday. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Monday is going to be the first day of running boats at the pond. And for the first day of running boats at the pond, I plan to take the big hydros, the 3-cell and 4-cell hydros. I plan to take the American Spirit, the Swifter 26, and maybe even the Campbell Classic Hydro. What do you guys think? So I'll run those 3 boats. So I'll have the 3 larger hydros in my fleet. I have one smaller one, the T3, but that'll go out on another day. The next day, Tuesday will be the cars. I'll bring the Porsche, the Ferrari, and because it has a car name, although it wasn't dressed up to look like a car, but ooh, the blue one could. The Cobra. I'm going to bring the Cobra. I have a blue Cobra kit. All it needs is 2 white stripes down the center line of it, and it's a Cobra. You guys picking up what I'm putting down? I just hit upon that idea right now, this very moment while I was speaking to you. Let's see what happens. I'm going to give one of those hulls away in the 2S challenge. And boys and girls, get your building boards ready to build something for the 2S challenge. I will have some cool prizes. You know, I'm giving away a couple of my 120 hydro kits. So if you're a builder, build something to run 2S on it, you know, and you can have fun with that all the time. And then you can build one of my little mini hydros and go 2S or 3S with cheap motors. So there you go. Well, what else do I have to say? Oh, a little shout out to Big B. Thanks for turning your viewers onto these rechargeable. These are actually lithium-ion batteries, but they're 3,500 milliamps in a AA package. That's perfect for the rescue boat transmitter, and other transmitters that run other boats that aren't programmed to my programmable transmitters. So this is a great tip. Shout out to Big B. Pretty much all I have to tell you at this moment. Oh, I am thinking of plans for this and how I'm going to do it. So remember, I'm going to have a little short shaft here. I'm going to have a motor sitting next to it here. I need the actual gears so I can get the spacing of the motor to the shaft here. But remember, it's going to have to tilt up. So somehow I'm going to have to get these to tilt up. And the bottom of both of these, as they're clamped to this and tilted, will form a plane. And remember, I was going to run a piece off this way that I could screw down into here. And if you remember what I did on the T3, the little MHZ microhydro, I had to get the motor way up in here, so I had to make this contraption to do that. And what I did was I put a plate on the bottom of the hull with some bolts sticking up out of it, and the whole thing would just drop onto those bolts. Well, that's what I'm thinking I'm going to do with this. To get an angle, I need a flat plane at that angle. So I'm going to make an L-shaped piece of carbon so that these will bolt into one leg of it. This will bolt into the other leg of it. And I will somehow create that angle of dangle. And I may do that with some like triangular wedges under it that support it on the bottom of the hull, and a piece going across this way to support it. I'll do it some way. I mean, I could just float it on a film of Cabosil and epoxy, but that would that would weigh a ton. So I need to do some sort of lightweight thing, and I'm thinking just some carbon fiber wedges, you know, out of this same material, and a little carbon fiber spar going out to hold the other leg of the L. So in here, if you would, hello, let's see. Do I have pencil lead? So somewhere in here, no, I don't have a pencil lead. Oh, I'm stuck. Here's a pencil with a lead. So somewhere in here, I'll have a piece of carbon that looks like that, and it'll have a stud here, and then it'll have the bottom halves of these clamps here and here. So the motor will go here. This is fun. This is fun drawing inside the boat. And the speed control will go over here. So that's kind of my layout. And then the shaft, actually this needs to be in line with that. But you get the drift of what I'm doing there, huh? Okay. So get your 2S Challenge boats under construction. And this is going to be a 2S boat. I think it's going to be too big and heavy to go around the real tight course I've set up. I'm actually thinking the best boat for this challenge, would be one of those little eco boats. Those things are ridiculously fast and they turn on a dime. If I were, now that I've had a long time to sit and think about it, if I were building a boat for the 2S Challenge, I'd seriously think about one of those. A couple of good places to get boats like that. H&M Marine, MHZ, EcoMaster. Who else makes boats like that? I don't know if there's a whole lot of plans available, but those are three sources I'd seriously consider looking at doing a 2S boat. Oh, back to my lake challenge. So the first day will be hydros. Second day will be cars. The third day I might do small boats. And in which case, I will bring the Mozilla 400, the Ladybug, and maybe if I'm in a good mood and I still have the program in the transmitter, I'll even bring the Microjet rigger. The Microjet rigger? I don't remember that one. Oh, yes, you do remember that one. That was my 12-inch challenge boat. Big B built the Microclad. That was the one with the adjustable sponsons. He built that as part of the challenge, and there were a couple other guys that built some stuff. So that will be, the third day will be small boats. I think the fourth day might be twin catamarans. I have 3 twin catamarans, so I might run 3 twin catamarans. And that would be Wednesday. And then after that, I might very well run single catamarans. And I'll take out the systems. Remember the systems? And I might take out my saltwater boat. And then on Friday, what have I not touched on? Friday, we'll see what's left. Or instead of that whole list I gave you, I could be like a DJ and take requests. So until next time, boys and girls, jet out.